Sleep.
I didn't know your subtitle before.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's fantastic. I didn't see that before when we popped into the chat before all this
Oh,
started.
wonderful. Well, now
Yeah.
you know.
Now I know indeed. Yeah, we'll let people slowly trickle into the stream chat here as we get settled. What's going on with you, man? It's been a minute since we've been live.
Uh, the world's on fire. I told you so. And find joy where you can.
You found who?
I said find joy where you can.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Find yours where you can. All right,
Yep.
cool.
I am currently trying to put tiny humans to bed after coming home from work and picking up, and the house looked like a bomb went off. It looked like somebody broke in looking for the stolen plans, and I now know why violence is the not the answer, but it is usually the first result.
Okay,
Because if you've spent any time cleaning up a house and you leave and the house looks one way and you come home
and
and
it looks worse.
it looks like mercenaries broke in to look for the plans that you stole from work because they suspect you to be a whistleblower. Um, After working all day,
Sure.
it's a little
Uh,
difficult.
you were working at your primary job or your secondary job?
Primary. We went to
Okay,
Beaufort to
okay.
record a play, um, and it was a good play. I'm not gonna say it wasn't, but we recorded it for the grant that was given to the people who made the play. And somebody at my job, my boss was like, "Well, maybe this will be good for like for television. You guys record it like a television show, and then maybe we can air it." And that wasn't part of the grant, so we weren't going to do it that way. And then we watched the play, and we were like, "There's no way in hell this is ever going to air right now in the current climate that we're under."
Hmm.
So, uh, um, you want to know what the gist of it is?
Sure.
Mm. So, a yes,
Okay, we
Carrie,
are
we are
live.
live.
Yes.
Yep, I'm about to drop some. This is what happened. The play is very good. It's Gullah Geechee writers wrote a play about about former slaves, uh, one former slave and Saint Peter at the gates of heaven, going over who can get into heaven, and former people or former alive people like Martha Washington, George Washington's wife, um, and others are trying to get into heaven. And they are told, well, let's look in the roll. Oh, you're not in the roll. Do you have anybody who can speak on your behalf? Yeah, my former servant. Oh, yeah, you're not going to be able to get in. So
And this is supposed to air on a television
it's never going to
channel?
air. The grant was it, that it was recorded.
Oh, okay.
So it was never supposed to air. It's never going to air. And
Okay.
honestly, under this administration, it never can air. But so this is the play. So yeah, it was hilarious. Like we're watching the play, and like I like stopped directing for a second because I was like all into the play. Martha Washington got up there and then was like, "Hey, can I get in?" And they was like, "Nah, take your ass on over there." So then she came back with George Washington. They was like, "Who is that?" She was like, "My husband, George Washington, the president." And they was like, "Get the fuck out of here! You can't. Neither one of you can get in. Hell, he's not in there. You ain't in there. Your daddy ain't in there." Like it was hilarious. They was going through the role talking about Liza Minnelli's in here, but not you, bitch. So then there's another scene where Martha Washington tries to sneak into heaven.
Huh. And this
Great play.
what was the company that put this on?
It was it was a grant through the SC 250. Um,
Okay.
so basically, it's going over. Now, there's more to it. So it's like talks about the dichotomy of how America fought for freedom and independence while still having slaves, and then the people. And it's factual. Like, so they went back and they found like different people who were owned and what their take on it would be that I I bled with you, but you couldn't grant me my freedom. And then the flip side of the British were offering freedom to slaves if you fought for the British, but then that promise wasn't kept. So it's like if you it didn't matter who you fought for, you were fucked. But it was a very good play. We went in, we did not know the gist of the play. Um, we knew kind of like we knew we were shooting a play, but we didn't know what it was. And then as we were watching it, we did a run through. We were like, okay, okay, okay. Then like when you hear the microphones are on and you hear the singing, and you're like, oh, you're like, this is good. Oh, I would watch this.
Hmm.
I mean, I can't watch it here because we get shut down. But
Okay.
very very good play, very good.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We're not
Mm.
talking about plays today, though. We're talking about other stuff. We're talking about the end of the world, as Leroy has dubbed it. End of the world
I
as we
mean
know it.
this is like the REM song. This the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine.
Uh huh.
I mean, that should be the title. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. Quick question to you: what in the hell did you think we were going to talk about when I was like we were doing this? Like, what topics did you think was more pressing than these two?
Mm, I don't know. I'm honest with you. I'm kind of burned out by the topics. So I don't know if we had something else to talk about. Like I got ideas, but we'll see where this conversation goes. I think it'll be
Okay,
interesting because
okay,
it's not like I think the things we're going to say are going to be things that people have already heard and things people have heard from us. I don't know that we're going to say anything new, but it'll just be interesting probably to hear it now that the things have come true that you said would come true,
I,
or not even come true that you said could happen. I think the FCC lady said it would come true.
I mean, I mean, we'll start. Okay, so you start with the two big stories, and then we can break them down from there.
Yeah, folks, we're talking about video game stuff when the title says it's the end of the world as we know it, or it's the
Not
end of
just
the
video
world.
game stuff, because there, there's a through line. There's a through line that I'm going to suggest, and I'm going to try to tie it together and see if I can do this because there's a story that I think people are not paying attention to that happened before that is going to become more relevant now. But
Okay, so do you want to do it?
oh no, you go ahead because after we break it down, I'm going to contextualize all of this.
So there's something going on in the world of video games.
Hmm.
Two big stories kind of popped off. One is kind of a continuation of a story that's kind of been happening for a while. Um, Microsoft continues to step on rakes. Specifically, they have raised the price of all of their subscription, monthly subscription services through Game Pass. They've
Hmm.
changed the name. They've changed the name actually to kind of sound like the PlayStation Plus names. I think one of them, which is
Yeah,
interesting that you go with the same name
it's
because I feel
sneaky.
like they have an essential and a premium and then
Premium
ultimate.
and
And I think
ultimate. Hmm.
PlayStation Plus has an essential, which is weird, but whatever. People copy other people all the time. It's fine. They've jacked the price up. They have given you more options, but the people are wondering, is it worth it? Any what?
They have given you some options and then taken away other options.
Do you want me to continue or do you just want to keep going?
No, no, no. I'm just saying like you were saying they've given you more options. I would disagree with that, but continue.
I feel like this would go so much faster if you just say what you want to say.
Mm-mm. No, go
Because
ahead.
me
Because
saying it and you cutting off doesn't make any sense.
no, no, no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Matter of
Okay.
fact, I'm gonna mute myself just so I can't do it.
Folks, pay attention when he unmutes himself and says something else. But uh, I never had a scripture service or game service, and I never will. Okay, more people are going to join you in that. I think. But yeah, Game Pass, the Game Pass subscription service has gone up in price. The ultimate version is now $29.99 a month. It was $19.99 a month. Before that, I think it might have been $17.99 and then $14.99 maybe when it first started for Ultimate. Um, Xbox claims that they're giving you more options for stuff. They're giving you more games. Um, but we'll get into what that really means. And again, this is Microsoft continuing to step on rakes. They continue to raise prices. A lot of it is unfortunate because other companies are also doing it too, but Microsoft is in the forefront because they keep doing it at the same. I almost feel like they should have done all this at once, but we'll get into that. The other big story is EA is owned outright by Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia conglomerate owns EA outright. Um, it's interesting. People are freaking out about this. This isn't the first company that Saudi Arabia has put money into. I think it might be the first big company that Saudi Arabia owns, but they own stake in a bunch of places. They have stake in Nintendo. They got stake in Tencent, I'm pretty sure. They might have stake in the people that do like the Honkai Star Rail, those games. And it seems that we're finding out that the deal was put together by Jared Kushner. He helped facilitate the deal with EA. Leora, go ahead and come off mute. You got something to say. I'm done now. Your face is just ridiculous. I've set it up. What do you want to say?
Can you guys hear me?
I think we can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, just checking. Hold on. Let's see what game. Sorry, I was. Damn, Miami's beat the hell out of Florida State. No, I laughed because you was like Saudi Arabia basically owns EA, and I was like, that's not how I would characterize it. But yeah, there is three private equity groups
Wait,
that have
how would you characterize it? They don't own them?
they don't own them yet, and they're one of three. I don't. So they're one of three. Silver Lake PIF, and another one. I can't remember what the other one's name is. And you're right. The talk is Jared Kushner helped put this together. The deal won't go through until Q 2027. So there is talk of the deal going through, and one of the tidbits that for the deal to go through that they offered up was that the 18 to 20 billion dollar debt the EA has will be wiped off its books by the end of the deal or the beginning of the deal going through. So
Thank you,
that
Kay.
20
So they don't own them. They own a majority share. Okay.
yeah, so
Kay's here to keep the facts straight when I just make stuff up. All
so
right. Thank you.
when the deal goes through, that $20 billion, 18 to $20 billion will be wiped away, which means that is a huge payday for the shareholders and for the people when this deal is done. Um, I what I will say is when it comes to Microsoft, I no longer think they are stepping on rakes. I think this is all part of the plan. I think now the mask is off
Hmm.
and Microsoft has said, you spent 70 billion fucking dollars. The bill has come due.
Hmm.
And Microsoft, with the Xbox's help, is now showing who they really are. And we, as consumers, because we have all done this, I think the biggest problem that we as consumers have had, and I've said this before on this channel, I've said this in real life, companies and corporations are not your friend. And here's the big problem, that reason why this backlash, because I was like, why is this backlash so big? It's not the first time that Microsoft has done something like this. You know why the backlash is so big? Because
Why is the backlash so big?
everybody thought Uncle Phil was their fucking friend. Everybody bought into this idea that Phil was this guy who played games and would talk to y'all and would make you feel like he was one of you. Phil is the goddamn CEO of Xbox. He has been there since the beginning with Microsoft and worked his way up. Microsoft is a almost a $4 trillion company. Do you think they got there because they're a charity? Their job is to sell you shit. Your job is to buy it. They just spent $70 billion. They are trying to win the AI war with all the other billionaires out there.
Hmm.
Chat GPT, Gronk, what's the other one? OpenAI, all of these different
Claude.
companies, all of these different companies, they are all in this to make money and to be first.
So,
And
question.
we go ahead.
I'm gonna let you keep on your soapbox, but
Mhm.
question: do you think the veneer that I want to say the persona that Phil puts out there is not genuine?
I think he is doing. I think he is genuinely trying to be a CEO of a gaming company that he really does care and love. But I also understand, just like anything else, this man is a businessman. This man ain't giving you anything. This man is trying to sell you stuff. And he's trying to sell you stuff in a market where he is number three. He is number three behind Nintendo. He is number three behind Sony. And the thing is,
You
we all
you
bought.
so some people could make the argument he might be number four if you count Steam as its own ecosystem.
Now, here's the thing. We'll get to that. I think what a lot of people thought was that Phil was one of us. And they kept buying into this idea that Xbox was for the gamers. And I think a lot of people, because I was like, why is this backlash? Like, I agree. This looks bad. And this is the idea of these things happening, timely wise, sucks. And keep in mind, you talked about the 50% increase of Game Pass Ultimate. We hadn't even talked about the other markets where it was 100% or past 100%. Brazil, South Africa, those markets were past 100%, where they have priced those people out of they have priced these people out of Game Pass Ultimate. So you talked about, well, some features were added. Yes, some features were added, but also, um, hold on, where is it? Insider Gaming is reporting, and they're not the only ones. Microsoft removes DLC discounts for Xbox Game Pass members. So the whole time that this thing is still being shaken out, Microsoft and Xbox have been getting in front, telling you, "Oh, nobody likes price increases, all this other stuff." Meanwhile, Sarah Bond has recently come out and said, "Oh, Game Pass is profitable. We made $5 billion off of this." These people are not your friends. These people are here to sell you a product. And that product, for the longest, the rumor was it wasn't profitable. Now you're finding out it is profitable. They're making money off of it. Oh, and guess what? It's about to go up. And I think Microsoft with Xbox said, okay, we can't sell the Outer Worlds 2 for $80. Cool. Guess what you will do? You'll pay $30 for Game Pass Ultimate.
Sure.
And not only will you pay $30, I'm willing to put money down right now that says next year, when four of their biggest games comes out, every single one of them is going to be $80. Gears of War E-Day, um, uh, Fable 2, the rumored
Fable, not
Halo,
Fable 2.
what? Say what?
You said I
It's
think you
not.
said Fable 2, but it's just called Fable.
Oh, it's just called okay.
Yeah, because
So
there's like
Fable,
it's like a reboot. But yeah, go ahead.
okay, Fable, Halo, um, Forza, and Gears of War. Those are four major games that
You think
we
a Halo
that
game's
we.
coming out next year?
I think a Halo game is coming out for the anniversary.
Okay.
I think a Halo remaster is coming out for the anniversary, and that's not even including Call of Duty. Every single one of those games is going to be $80. And what
Now,
Microsoft is going to
do you
tell you
think they're
is
going to be the only company to do that?
no, but I think Microsoft is going to be the game company that does it because here's what they're going to do. They're going to tell you that these games are $80, and then what they're going to do is say on day and date, these games are going to drop on Game Pass Ultimate. They have dropped a tier and improved some tiers because what they're doing is they're trying to come at you at different ends. The shock and awe that just happened was bad. And I think that they were not prepared for that because the site crashed.
We keep saying
Go ahead.
every time they step on our rake, we keep saying like they don't expect it's going to be that bad. At some point, I feel like they expect and they don't care.
Boom. That's you
If
said it.
this company really is evil or whatever, whether you're not to say evil, that that's subjective. You can believe it. They're almost worth $4 trillion. That's factually proven. That's objectively true. At some point, they don't. If you're doing this, you have too many people in cost analysis to look at. Is the blowback bad enough for us to do something, or should we try to be a good steward? If it's not bad enough, we'll go ahead and go with it. I mean,
Boom.
they have organizations and departments within this $4 trillion company to figure that out. So at some point, they're just like, it's fine.
Agreed. And that's why I said,
So I wonder if I, and we'll probably never get this number because it's proprietary and they wouldn't tell us. But I wonder they figured out the equation. We're like, oh, we can take this to $30. Even with the people
mhm.
canceling, we'll still make more money than having more people at 20.
So it's called uh, cost benefit. No, is it cost? What is the equation? It's called. Somebody can tell me in the comments or in the chat. Cost benefit analysis, I think, or return. Some of return on investment (ROIs). Um, you're right. I do believe social media, and you have to account for that. I do believe some of the social media backlash was unexpected. I think the site crashing shows that they were not prepared for the amount of people to cancel their Game Pass. I also agree with you that says they don't give a fuck.
I don't think those are my
And
words, but okay.
I think what is going on right now is Microsoft now leading the charge because Xbox has spent. Can you get what? No, you have to go to bed. You have to go to sleep. Come here. Come here. Oh, he's mad now. It's okay. Microsoft, see what you did?
Microsoft did that.
Microsoft, you did that.
Which is that
You did
Evan or
that.
Owen?
That's all.
Okay.
Uh, he's trying to fight going to sleep. He's already told me earlier he doesn't want to go to sleep. And Evan's already asleep or going to sleep, and now he'll stop in a little bit. Anyway, um, Microsoft looked at the numbers and said, if this many people cancel, this happens. If this many people cancel, then this happens. Because watch what's going to happen. If enough people cancel, you know what they're going to do? They're going to offer you a deal. You can buy a year subscription of Game Pass at this price.
Kay has the answer for us.
Go ahead.
Basic RI formula. It's a simple form. The RI is calculated by
Come
dividing
on.
returns after cost by the investment.
Come here. Stop crying and come
Do
here.
a little business math for everybody. It's fantastic.
Yep.
We'll drop that in so everybody can see it. Where we at? Chat. And there we go. We'll put that up for a little bit.
Perfect. So when you have this, when because here's the thing, and I think what a lot of people are looking at are not paying attention to the difference between a backlash that you did not plan for and you are losing money and you're losing the faith of the investors and people. You don't see that with Microsoft. Let's go back to a story that happened 2 weeks ago. Jimmy Kimmel was pulled off the air after the Charlie Kirk shooting. He was pulled off the air. Nexstar and Sinclair, two huge companies, said we will not put him back on the air. They called ABC and Disney, said we're not putting him back on. We need to talk. The talk is, or the reporting is, Jimmy Kimmel did not budge. He says, I'm not donating and I'm not apologizing. They ended up putting him back on the air. Part of the reason why it's reported that Jimmy Kimmel got back on the air and the reason why he was able to come out swinging is because at least 1.7 million subscribers canceled Disney Plus and Hulu. Now, you and I both know because we pay for the service. 1.7 and growing. They had to reverse their decision. Now, Jimmy Kimmel's contract is up next year. I think in May. I believe so. Now, if you go to Disney Plus or Hulu, you can watch Jimmy Kimmel. Part of the reason why they pulled it was because there's a deal. Nexstar has a deal to buy Tegna, and they would like to keep the ire of the Trump administration and the FCC off of them to make that deal go through. Now, Jimmy Kimmel's deal with HBO, I mean, not HBO, Hulu, Disney, all of that, could mean if he re ups that we continue to do Jimmy Kimmel, but we pull it off air and it goes only on streaming, which then bolsters your numbers on streaming. And then you can do whatever the hell you want on streaming because that's not regulated by the FCC. Now, I say all that to say that is a situation where you saw backlash to a decision by a major company and consumers voted with their dollars. And you saw company change. Answer me this, because I honestly don't know, but I'm going to ask this question. When has Microsoft or Xbox made a decision and we all said that they stepped on rakes and they reversed that decision outside of Outer Wilds 2 or Outer Worlds?
Oh, the first time they did the price increase on Game Pass, just like 3 or 4 years ago, they did that. All right, because I
Mm-hmm.
remember that was a big thing they talked about on IGN. Ryan McCaffrey talked about it. They were going to
Mm-hmm.
increase the price of Game Pass. Maybe it might have been during the pandemic because I feel like that's what everybody was saying. It's a bad call to do it during the pandemic. They were going to, and they didn't. Um, and everybody thought, oh, it's cool. And Microsoft just
Mm-hmm.
said, hold on, well, don't worry about that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And what happened after COVID?
a lot of things happened after COVID.
Mark
I don't know where you're going.
Xbox bought Activision Blizzard.
Oh, yeah,
And you said it almost a year ago, in 2023, the highest price for Ultimate was $17.99. In 14 months, Game Pass is now $29.99. Come here.
yeah. Here's the thing that I think is interesting. And not that it's, I don't know, I wouldn't call it bad or worse.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Better.
Sony and Nintendo are kind of hoping all the stuff Microsoft does just kind of falls on them. That way they could possibly do the same thing. I think if Sony wanted to increase prices, if they could find a way to increase prices, I'm sure they would too. They're just waiting to see how bad it is for Microsoft before they do it. I think Game Pass. I'll die on this hill. I think Game Pass is fantastic for me. As somebody who plays a bunch of games, wants to try a bunch of stuff, I think Game Pass is fantastic. $29.99 a month is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I would still. I'm in a good situation, and I told you this before. My subscription to Game Pass actually doesn't expire until, and I checked it. It was June 2027 because I bought so many of the game cards when they were cheap. Um, so I don't know that I was preparing for the price. I knew the price could go up eventually. I didn't know it would be this much, but having those cards has definitely been a boon. I love Game Pass. However, I also think it is a victim of its own success. And I think it was Herbert Thornton who might have talked about the Movie Pass
Mm-hmm.
documentary, and everybody's comparing. Game Pass seems so incredible. How are they making money? At some point, you can only get so many subscribers. If fewer and fewer subscribers, your subscription rate grows at a less larger rate than you want it to. Eventually, you're not turning a profit. Same thing, the similar thing to Movie Pass. Everyone's like, "Oh, you can watch as many movies as you want for what was it like 19.99 a month or something?"
Hmm.
The math isn't mathing on this. How's this going to work? And Movie Pass, I think Movie Pass might exist now, but it is
It
drastically
keeps
different than
trying to
it
come
was, right?
back. It keeps trying to come back. But part of the problem with Movie Pass was that it wasn't sustainable. The difference with Game Pass was we know Game Pass makes a profit. Sarah Bond has said that. And also, the problem is that Game Pass cut into other profits. That's the big problem now. Because right now, another article from Insider Gaming, and they're not the only people to report this. A new report shows that Microsoft's decision to put Call of Duty on Game Pass has costed hundreds of millions of dollars. Earlier this week, Xbox announced a price hike for Game Pass holders, bringing Ultimate up from $19.99 to $29.99. Other subscriptions saw increased pricing, causing many fans to get furious. Unfortunately, its effects has spread to the closed beta of Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which is not too popular. Um, Microsoft pulling the game Microsoft putting Call of Duty on Game Pass reportedly resulted in $300 million in lost revenue, according to Bloomberg. In a report from Bloomberg, the outlet talked to current and former workers at Microsoft about the Activision deal and Game Pass hike. One interview said, who has remained unnamed, said that last year in total, Xbox gave up around $300 million in sales of Call of Duty on console and PCs, while reports on Black Ops 6 sales being positive came out. Bloomberg brings up that IGN discovered that 86% of it was due to PlayStation players buying it. Furthermore, many of the interviews Bloomberg talked to said how Game Pass is a detriment to Microsoft, costing it more than it should. So, with that being said, Game Pass is a great deal. You convinced me that it was. I was out on Game Pass. I was like, this is not going to work. But I did see the value when I did have the Xbox and I played it. And here's another thing, Game Pass was so cheap, you could forget and not play games for months and still keep paying it because it wasn't that bad.
Hmm.
Because guess what? I did. I kept, it was, I think they got 6 months out of me,
Hmm.
maybe, before I was like, I'm not playing this. What the hell? So I say that to say now people are going to have to recognize and say, what is the cost? What is the benefit of having this? Do I dip in and play a few games on day one and then I dip back out? Or do you drop to a lower tier? Either way, Microsoft is banking that you're going to keep subscribing because it is a good deal. If you don't care about day one releases, you drop to the ultimate tier or the premium tier, and then you wait until that game comes on to Game Pass. If you're like me and has
Hmm.
you may not be able to play all these games day one. You've got other commitments. So dropping to the lower tier makes sense. But if you have older kids, you want to go? Where are you going? Oh, you want to say it yourself? Like that? Okay. But if you have older kids, let's say you have two or three kids in your house and you have Fortnite and they play Fortnite and you play video games, this may not be a bad deal for you.
Hmm.
Now, I understand why people are like, it should have been a la carte. It should have been this, it should have been that. Microsoft says, we don't care.
Yeah,
Microsoft
we
said,
don't care about your feelings.
fuck you, pay me.
Are
Now,
your offspring still monitoring the words you say and
yeah, that's
charging
why I
you?
covered his ears.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to work. Okay, cool.
He didn't say he didn't hear it, so or he
Okay,
didn't call it out. Now, if he calls it out, I owe him some money. But
okay.
he
Um,
also is sleepy, so you see his eyes. He's like,
yeah,
yeah. So
he's
I can
fighting
probably
it.
say a lot of stuff. Yeah, he's fighting it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, Microsoft has done the analysis, and in the past, you're right. Your outrage would get to them. Your outrage would cause them to say, let's rethink this. Not only has your outrage not done anything, they don't care.
Hmm.
Because guess what? They just raised the console prices. We have talked about on this channel how many times Microsoft and Xbox have made these decisions and they keep stepping on rakes. And after a while, you have to say they're not stepping on rakes anymore. They're actually a business who's trying to sell you something no matter how much it costs. And the reason
Yeah.
why I say that is because you just talked about Valve, right? What is Valve doing? Or what did Valve make that made everybody else take notice? They made the Steam Deck.
Uh-huh.
Xbox partnered with ROG Ally or whatever the company is. Is it MSI who makes the ROG Ally? Either way, the
Uh,
two versions of that handheld were only recently announced for pricing. The most advanced edition is $1,000.
yeah,
The lower tier is what, 600, 599.
something like that.
Yep. That should let you know right then and there. They are in this to make money and they don't care because if they were trying to make something that was equitable.
Dad,
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
we do not say I don't care.
You're right. We don't say that. See, I told you he didn't hear it. Good job. We don't. Yeah, Microsoft doesn't care. Daddy cares. Microsoft doesn't. Can you say Microsoft doesn't care? How about say Xbox doesn't care? It's okay. But I'm trying to get. I am. I am no longer in this idea that they keep stepping on rakes. I've been watching people sit up here, like every channel. Maddie plays, Young Yeah, um, Gaming Bolt, all these different channels were freaking out, and I was like, "Yeah, it's bad, but it's no different than before.
Yeah.
The difference is they're no longer acting. The difference is they're telling you we don't care."
Hmm.
That's right, buddy. Tell them. Tell them.
Sell
But
them.
and that's why I said I'm no longer like, oh, they're stepping on rakes. No, this is who they are. Everybody. I watched IGN. Um, was it Ryan McCaffrey who hosts Xbox
Yeah.
Unlocked, and all of them on there. And Ryan McCaffrey has done a very good job of covering Xbox. He's done a very like he is an Xbox fan. He has been there. He has interviewed Phil, Uncle
He came from
Phil.
Original Xbox magazine
Yeah.
before he came to
hmm
IGN.
He said that this generation of Xbox will be known as greed.
Hmm.
And even he has said, and he has been complimentary because he's like, Phil has watched this show. I've interviewed him. I know about him. The problem is, I think people have got this idea that Phil was their friend. Whoa, don't press anything, buddy. Don't press anything. Oh, who's that?
Boy, being there.
That's right. Um, I think people believe that Phil was their friend
Uh-huh.
and believe that Phil was not a CEO of a major multinational corporation. And I think
I
that,
liken it to
go ahead.
um, before Doug Bowser left, and before Doug Bowser, we had Reggie Fils-Aimé,
Yep. 16
and
years.
yeah, and he was the face of Nintendo of America. Um,
I'm
I
glad
think
you brought that up.
when decisions came from Nintendo, they I don't I have to go back and look. I feel like sometimes Nintendo made unpopular decisions. I don't know that people jumped on them as much and blamed Reggie as they do Phil. I think that's for two reasons. One, Nintendo of America, they're a PR firm. Hey, hire us, but they're a PR firm. Nintendo Japan makes the decisions, and Nintendo of America just carries it out. So at some
Hold
point,
on. Not only hire us, We have a cute mascot.
You have two cute mascots. Um, but so like if bad news comes out of Nintendo and Reggie says something, you can only hold Reggie accountable for so much because it's not his decision. He can do a lot of
Mhm,
input, and in his book he talks about
mhm,
how he helped bring, well, I think it was like the Wii, whatever game came packed in with the Nintendo. He really pushed for that to happen, and Nintendo Japan didn't want to do that. But in the end of the day, uh, yeah, you can only blame Reggie for so much. I think that's why they were cut some slack whenever bad decisions were happening at Nintendo. But again, that is somebody who was front facing, and I think the more you see somebody, the more you kind of, especially in this world we live in of people watching streaming, people watching us, you want to feel like you connect with those people that you're seeing on TV. So if you're seeing Phil all the time, you're like, that's my friend, that's my buddy. He likes us. He likes you to a certain extent, and I may be naive. I do think Phil does care about gamers, but at the same time, he as a CEO, he has a fiduciary responsibility to make money for the company. That is his job title.
His job is to make money for the shareholders
Yeah,
and for the company, for Microsoft, who spent $70 billion on a company.
yeah.
And I think
That's
Phil had
fine.
had, but dude, you're right there. Talking about, oh, you okay? Yeah, don't hit your head, man.
Look at me.
I want to wrap you on bubble wrap because I swear to you fall sitting down. Hi,
What
those are earbuds. No, 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 don't take them out. That's how Daddy's talking to the people on the computer.
can I see?
No, but you can wear this. I got this just for you. Yeah. So, like, and here's the thing. I don't think Phil's a bad guy. I think Phil's a nice guy. I think he's done a lot of things under his stewardship. I think Xbox has done things and pushed Microsoft and gaming to the future. I think we would not have a PlayStation service like Game Pass without Phil Spencer and Microsoft, without Xbox. I think
I
the
could agree with that.
360, I think the 360 era, I think
No, no,
caused
no,
no, no, no, no.
no.
I think, can hey, do me a favor? Can you go sit over there in on the chair and I'll go put on Bluey? Um, so I think Phil Spencer has done a lot for gaming. I'm not going to take anything away from that. Remember, everybody's asleep. Mommy's asleep and Evan's asleep. Okay. Um, there is no that I am not going to sit up here and say um, Phil Spencer has not been good for gaming. But what I will say is Phil Spencer is a CEO. And here's where I had to think about this when follow me on this logic. And oh, Spider Man. Um, oh yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Macho Man. Oh yeah.
Okay, while you talk about
Um,
that, I want to answer this question before I forget.
Good.
Bank757 asked Michael, how many Xbox games have you bought and owned since getting Game Pass? That's a great question. I
Zero.
No. I've bought Xbox games. I'm trying to figure
You
out how
have.
many. It might be five, and I've had Game Pass for years.
You've had it for
So,
at least 5 years.
oh yeah, yeah, definitely longer than that probably. But
Because
I've been in Game Pass
you had it for years before you were able to convince me to get it.
because I had Game Pass back at in WOTX days, and I've been in CNC now for like almost going on 5 years. So yeah, it's been.
What? You've been there that long?
I'm in my fifth year
Wow.
now. Yeah. Um,
Okay.
so I'd
Right
probably
there.
say 7, 8 years, maybe longer. I
Mhm.
think the last game I bought for Xbox was Disco Elysium, and I bought that just because I wanted the physical copy, and it was cheap, and I bought it like during the Black Friday sale.
Yeah, I need to buy a physical copy of that game. I have it on digitally on my Steam Deck on VAT but I don't have it on the console, and I have a physical copy. So here's where I came to this realization, and I've always known this, but I couldn't understand where the freak out happened. And so follow me on this journey. If you're a sports fan, you'll know this story. David Stern was the commissioner of the NBA for a number of years. David Stern um, ruled the NBA with the iron fist. He was a man who was not a friend of the players. I mean, he is the commissioner is a person who works for the owners. David Stern made sure that he made decisions that were tough. Some would say were not fair to the players, but you knew where you stood because you knew he was not your friend. David Stern has left. Okay, one more
Oh,
time.
David Stern is dead.
Yeah, but what I'm
That's
saying is he left the position, and then you
yeah.
got Adam Silver. Adam Silver on his watch, the very first major scandal he had to deal with. Does anybody remember?
Was that
Clippers.
I was gonna say, was that LA Clippers, the
Mm,
owner?
yep. And what did he do?
I don't
Banned
remember
him
what
for
he did.
life. He banned him for life.
Oh,
They ended
did
up
he? Okay.
selling the team, and then Steve Ballmer ended up buying him. And then everybody felt that Adam Silver was a more lenient commissioner, was a friend of the players, and during his tenure, he was seen as a nice guy. This man is still the commissioner of a league. He still works for the owners. Now, the question comes because right now the Clippers are involved in a scandal. Pablo Torre is reporting that the Clippers under Steve Ballmer circumvented the NBA salary cap. Now, the reason why I bring all of this up is that when you have the draft, the commissioner congratulates the players who have been drafted. And the commissioners always, when it comes to Adam Silver, is seen as a nice guy. Unlike Roger Goodell, who's seen as Adam Silver, has always been seen as this person. But at the end of the day, who does Adam Silver work for? He works for the owners.
Right.
Now you have this situation where you have the Clippers again embroiled in a scandal, and David Stern is going to have to administer some type of justice.
Not David
Oh,
Stern because he's dead.
not, sorry, Adam Silver is going to have to administer some type of justice
Yes.
when it was originally Donald Sterling because that was easy. But now you work for the owners, and the richest owner in sports is accused of circumventing the cap. Do you come down hard on the owner who is your boss, or do you make it go away? But again, this man is not a friend to you. He is management, and the
Right.
players are labor. And again, I bring that up because I bring up Phil, and everybody kept calling him Uncle Phil. And they bestowed this level of friendship and familiarity to him, and they did not pay attention to the fact that Phil Spencer works for Microsoft. He runs Xbox, but works for Microsoft. And Microsoft's job is to sell you.
Everything. Products.
Well, I can't say the word I was going to say because he right there. Um,
Yeah.
but that's where I think this outrage came from because I honestly think if PlayStation and Sony had done something like this, because remember they did, they raised the price of the PlayStation.
Hmm.
We did not see the outrage that Xbox got when they raised their prices. That when Sony did it.
Yeah, and I think that was because that was part of when we were calling it the rake stepping, the line of rake stepping, like it was just other things and other things and other things
Hmm.
with them. Where Sony just like, oh, all they did was raise prices. There was something
Hmm.
else that Microsoft did that besides raise prices that people got upset about.
Remember that was so. Here's the thing, and this is the thing that I think a lot of people keep forgetting. After the Xbox Activision Blizzard deal, they canceled studios, they canceled games, they raised Microsoft Xbox Game Pass prices, they raised the price of hardware. All of this was in lieu of the deal. Sony was doing their own shit. Whew. Oh. So heads up, I don't know if I told you guys, anytime I curse and they catch it, I owe them a quarter, but they have to catch it. So um, He didn't catch it, so I don't owe him any money. And I'm he can't read, so y'all definitely ain't gonna tell him. Um,
What
but
what's the what's the jar at now?
oh, only 50 cents.
Oh, okay.
So here's the thing.
So they're clearly not catching you because you've definitely done more than 2 times.
Oh, dude, I like they have to hear it,
Yeah.
and they have not been paying attention. So, oh, the layoffs. Also, the layoffs. Don't forget about the layoffs.
Hmm.
So I bring all that up to say,
Hey,
yo,
Dad,
yo, what's up, buddy?
what?
I see.
Hey, Dad, what's the
Let's see. Let me know what Spider Man's doing. So the reason why I bring all that up is I think consumers and gamers have bestowed a level of familiarity onto Xbox CEO that they did not do with anybody else. The CEO of Sony PlayStation for a while was that Jim Ryan.
For America,
Yeah,
yeah,
they hated him. So like,
yeah, yeah.
remember?
Jim Ryan is honestly, and I don't know the right metaphor analogy, but Jim Ryan is what people think Uncle Phil is now. Jim Ryan was about that money all the
Hmm.
time, and he wasn't as affable as Phil, so he didn't come off as well to people as Phil.
Hmm.
But he was trying to get that money. That's
Bobby
what
Kotick.
Jim Ryan
Bobby
was.
Kotick. Remember him?
Yeah,
CEO of Activision Blizzard. People hated him.
yeah.
Before Phil Spencer,
CDO?
who was the CEO?
You said, but I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
The
CDO.
CEO of Microsoft, Xbox before Phil Spencer. The guy
Was that
who,
Don Matrick? Maybe.
yep, yep,
CDO.
CDO, yep. People
Yeah,
hated
Don
his ass
Matrick.
too.
That's an
Yep.
interesting dude.
And so that's my point.
CDO.
And here's the other part of it. When the Activision Blizzard deal was going through, Lena Khan, who was the head of the FTC, told the court Game Pass prices will increase. She said that these things that are happening right now, layoffs, price increases, that the stranglehold on video games will get tighter under this deal because there are no checks and balances. And Microsoft and Xbox said that's not true. Look, we signed a deal.
Is he in
Yeah,
front
my
of your
light.
light source?
No, go. Hey, go sit down. No more getting up, or you going to bed.
CDO.
Anyway, um, ah, go sit down.
CDO.
Um, there was this argument, and we sat here, me and you, arguing with all these other channels who were like, just let it happen. Some of them I remember by name. I'm not gonna call them out on here, but you know who you are. Just let it happen. The FTC's they're all this other stuff. Now all of them are freaking out. The sky is falling, and I'm like,
CDO.
she tried to tell you.
Yeah.
We tried to tell you.
Well, I mean, to be
Now look
fair,
at
you
you.
were on her side. I was probably, I don't think I was as intense as the people that let it happen, but I was definitely like, it's fine. I saw it as a good thing.
I did not. I was like,
I know you
this.
didn't. Yeah, you
We're going
definitely
to
did.
rue the day. And
Yeah.
now,
Da-da-da.
shh, Owen, Whiskey Tingle Foxtrot.
While Leroy deals with his child, I want to get back to a question that Kay brought up before. She said, how many games have you initially played on Game Pass that you can no longer play because they're gone from Game Pass? And Banks brought up, that was a good question. That is a good question. I literally, I could load up my Xbox right now, and on the dashboard, there are at least 4 games with thumbnails that have a big X on them because I can't play them anymore because they're no longer on Game Pass.
Yes.
And I never even got to play them because there were so many. These were like independent titles, like Chance of Sonar is one I can't play. I didn't get around to. I did play a little bit of what's the Civilization game that's like Civilization, but it's a different one with the blue. A game that's like Civilization.
Frostpunk.
It's like something with a home or something.
Mm.
Now I got to look it up. But I played that for like an hour and I never went back to it. And that has an X on. I can't play it anymore. One thing I will say
So
about Game Pass is sometimes they will
mm,
bring games back, but usually
yeah.
those are like the bigger games. Like Grand Theft Auto 5, I think is back now in the catalog, but stuff like Chance of Sonar is not there. But yeah,
So
there are a few games that I have and I can't play now.
I guess
Humankind, that's what it's called. Go ahead.
so one of the things that I want to say is I still think Game Pass is a good deal. I still think the ultimate tier is too much. But I told you back in the day when you were like, "Oh no, it's this price," and I was like, "Watch, it'll go to 24.99," and you were skeptical, and I was like, and I don't remember when, but I said that thing can go as high as 30, and it still will be a good deal if they keep the exact same way it is, that day and date every single one of these titles. Because here's the thing, even with all the titles that I mentioned, the five that I mentioned at $80, you are still coming in under 360. So it's
Yeah.
cheaper to buy those $80 titles versus the 360 of Game Pass a year at the $30 price. What I'm saying is that now the bill has come due. And now you have to look at Microsoft and Xbox at what it is. We love gaming because we love the stories that are told, but make no mistake, games are commercial art. And right now, you have to decide, like we all do with everything raising in prices, these subscription servers have to be slotted. And how much time are you willing to invest in them for the amount of money you pay? So $30 still seems like a good deal, but $30 is not a good deal in comparison to I gotta pay HBO Max, which just went up in price, Netflix, which just went up in price, Apple TV just went up in price. You have to figure out, does this price work for you?
Hmm.
Now, we did not talk enough about EA, and I think there are two things driving both of these things that we have not paid attention to, and we mentioned them earlier. AI. Part of the reason why these prices are going up with Microsoft and Xbox is because they are in the AI battle. And part of the reason why these three firms bought EA is because they're trying to make a profit. Now, most of private equity, when they, hey, go put that back up, go stand that up. You knock that over. Yep, go on, come on, stand it up. People can't see daddy. Yep, yep. Aim the light at daddy. Turn it. Yeah, so turn, yeah, good enough, good enough. Go sit in the chair. Good job. Fist bump. Boom. Go watch Spider Man. Okay, I'm gonna get them trained eventually. But the AI that everybody is chasing, the reports are
Spider-Man
that's
shirt.
right. You have a Spider Man shirt on. Watch Spider Man. Tell me what you think about him. Tell me which one you like. There are three of them up there. There's a brown one, a white one, and another white one. Um,
Red
cool.
one and another
Of course, you picked the white one.
and the
Um,
white one.
so EA, into lowering the debt in order for this deal to get made, it's been reported that they're going to look at AI in their video game development. What does that mean? Layoffs, crappier games, and maybe they dip into live service. We don't know, but we know that the major reason why they bought that company, you mentioned Saudi Arabia and the PIF. Part of the reason why that they bought that was because Saudi Arabia is doing what's called sports washing. Look it up.
Hmm.
Bomani Jones does a very good job. Go to YouTube, look up Bomani Jones, the right time sports washing. He had an HBO show where he did a very good job of what Saudi Arabia is doing with Live Golf Tour, Wrestle
Wrestling, yeah,
WWE,
WWE.
wrestling.
Yeah.
When it comes to soccer, getting not Messi, Ronaldo to play. They're trying to launder their image. The Riyadh Comedy Festival that just happened. They're trying to launder their reputation. They're accused of vastly egregious human rights conditions. They are, Saudi Arabia has a lot of issues, and they're using these purchases to launder their reputation.
Mhm.
I say all that to say is this is the biggest private equity deal for cash in the history of deals. $55 billion dollars for EA. That puts BioWare's future in jeopardy. We could see they talking about Battlefield 6 comes out this year. There's reports that Battlefield could be yearly. And the reason why it could be yearly is because they're going to go up against Call of Duty. And make no mistake, the EA deal affected Microsoft and Xbox because they have to now prepare for a limited amount of money being put into a video game company, a software company that they are in direct competition with. Because make no mistake, Xbox is a publisher now. They make hardware, but they're in the publishing game. And
Yeah.
their major franchises are up against a company that now has unlimited amount of money. And Call of Duty just took a L from Game Pass. So what does that mean? Game Pass just went up in price. You are now paying more for Game Pass. EA now is going to be owned by three companies that are looking to leverage it. And that is going to change how they make games and what games they make. And Battlefield is one of them. And Battlefield is direct competition of Call of Duty
It's
going
interesting that you say
forward.
that because some people may or may not know this, but part of Game Pass is it gives you access to a large collection of games. It also gives you a large collection of catalog of suites of other game companies. EA Play is currently under Game Pass Ultimate, which lets you play a bunch of EA games. I wonder, and granted, that deal, I'm sure there's a contract in place that'll keep it there for a few years. I wonder how long it'll stay there. Um, yeah.
Or do they renegotiate that deal? Because if you want to keep Game Pass at $30, you want to keep whatever EA has.
Mhm.
And if you want to keep what EA has, EA is going to say, "We just saw you raise $30." That just changes your deal of how much you pay. And I don't know if you guys remember this, but this is exactly what happened with Netflix and Stars. When Netflix started coming in and knocking over traditional television, they signed a deal with Stars that kept whatever Stars had on their streaming platform because no one else had a streaming platform. Love you, buddy. So now EA is like, oh, you got Game Pass? You made $5 billion and it's on our content? Oh, when that contract comes up again, please believe EA is going to have their checkbook and
Mhm.
say, how much is it going to be for our content? Or they take their content off. Mhm. So the EA deal directly impacts gaming, but it directly impacts what Xbox and Microsoft are doing because yeah, Microsoft has about $4 trillion or valued at $4 trillion. You are now up against two private equity companies and a third that is backed by a government that has unlimited amount of money.
Mhm.
Because here's the thing that's going to happen when you look at FC, when you look at EA Sports, please believe they're going to be designing sets and locations that are favorable to Saudi Arabia, that are going to be favorable to the Crown Prince. You're going to see that because why would you buy it? So the title of this episode was "It's the End of the World as We Know It." These two deals fundamentally changed gaming because these two deals with the future of gaming and everything is a subscription service. And these mega major corporations now have us at their mercy. And now you have as a consumer. And here's the thing, other companies are now making money off of how greedy these companies are. GameStop, the company we lauded as a horrible company, has said, "Oh, Microsoft got you by the balls? Come on, baby." Remember the meme of Dave Chappelle as Prince when he does this? No, Rick James when he's like this.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
GameStop says we're going to keep
I
selling you the
currently have some.
$20. Yep.
It's not just GameStop; it's also Amazon and some other places. They're keeping the prices, the game cards at their original
But
prices.
here's the thing: GameStop came out in opposition to Microsoft. The rest of them are going to keep the price, but GameStop released a press release that said, "We're going here." Hold on, I'm pulling it right now. Hold on. Hey, what are you doing back there?
Child.
Yeah, I'm looking for what they actually said.
Hey, look. Hey, look at it.
I see.
It's dinosaurs on.
Yeah, it's a bracelet. Go ahead. Okay, take it over there. Um, yeah, they tweeted out and said they will keep it at 19.99. I can't find the actual press release, but yeah. And here's the other thing too, and I did not bring this up. Microsoft is rumored to be testing a free cloud gaming service that will
Yeah.
run ads. You will watch a 2-minute ad for every hour of gaming you play. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you boot up your Xbox, there's an ad every time you boot it up, isn't there?
No,
There isn't. Other
no.
people are reporting they're seeing ads when they boot up their Xbox.
So I haven't booted on my Xbox since all this news came out, so I don't know. But I mean, before that, I didn't have an ad every time I. Sometimes there'd be an ad, but it wasn't every time. I haven't booted
Okay.
up since.
So I say that to say, with that, please be aware. Just like Amazon did with Amazon Plus, and they now have ads, and then they say if you want to get rid of the ads, upgrade to this tier.
Mhm.
Xbox is about to do the same thing to y'all.
Um, I
It's
wonder.
coming.
No, no, no. Yeah, no. I wonder how long GameStop can sell the Ultimate for 19.99 per month.
However many they got left,
Yeah, because
because
I
the
mean,
cards are free.
it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's on a card. Like
Mhm.
when the new cards come out, are they going to
That's it.
discount it to 19.99?
Nah.
See, that's why. That's why this is more like, all right, you guys aren't really. You guys are just selling what you have in stock. That's fine.
But here's the thing, it's it's a business. They're not like GameStop's not going to take a loss. But what I'm saying is, GameStop, the company that we talked so much trash about, who used to basically people felt was stabbing them in the back when it came to gaming, is now coming in like the white knight saving gamers. Is like, is Xbox treating you badly, baby? Come on over here for these nice cars that we've got still for 19.99. And they're not doing anything out of the generosity of their heart. They're just selling their in stock.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: I wonder if the deal was you got to send them cards back, and GameStop was like, "Nah, we got them. We's keeping them."
Yeah, I don't think that is it
We
because
we don't know. We don't know what the deal is.
well, yeah, no, no, yeah, I'm saying I don't think that's it because so many other places are also saying, yeah, we're keeping it at the same price.
But here's the thing: so my mom used to work in Rose's, a store back in the day, and when certain books would they didn't sell, you'd have to rip the covers off the books and send them back, and that would show that these books couldn't be sold. They used to have to do this with comics as well. So the reason why I bring that up is because I'm quite sure with these cards there was some type of deal. If a price increase happens, there's some type of legalese that says, okay, what do you do with the cards that you already have? You could probably send them back for a credit like you do with comics and books. I don't know what it is, but I'm quite sure they're not doing this out of the kindness of their heart. They're doing this because they know they can make a profit. While Microsoft and Xbox are gouging you, they're like, turn to us. And they're the me. They're Dave Chappelle doing this. and they're coming out looking great, but they're not doing it. They're still a business too. They're in this to make money. And when it comes to ads, you don't watch Black Mirror, but there's a Black Mirror episode. Um, what's Quincy Jones's daughter?
Rashida.
Um, hold on. Rashida Jones does an episode of Black Mirror called Common People. Stars Crystal Dowd, and the episode, and this is reason why I said this gaming is coming, and you are not gonna like it. Go watch the episode called Common People. Rashida Jones is married to Crystal Dowd. She's a teacher.
It's alive, Dad.
It is. What color is that?
Green.
Yep, antiseptic white. Don't open it. We're gonna no, don't open it. Antibacterial white. We need this so when we clean stuff. Okay. Do me a favor. Go find Big Go and Chili. Go. Um, Rashida Jones has a tumor. Crystal Dowd is her husband. She falls out. They fix her. Tracy Ellis Ross is the owner or the customer representative of a company called Rivermind. Rivermind helps her with the brain tumor. While she is okay, she goes to sleep a little bit. And she sleeps a little longer. And then at one point in time, she wakes up and she's okay, but she sleeps longer than she normally does. So as they're talking over breakfast or whatever, she opens her mouth to talk and an ad comes out. Turns out Rivermind as a company
Oh,
has
Dad,
tiered.
Dad.
Yes.
Pumpkin.
I know. You weren't supposed to see that. You were supposed to be asleep. Dad found all the Halloween stuff. Was going to put it out while you were asleep, but you hadn't gone to sleep yet. All I'm going to say is the company Rivermind starts using people who have gone through these medical emergency and then starts tiering the level of care you get based on how much you pay.
Mhm.
And then they start using people to play ads because they need this level of care. Now, I'm not telling you that's what's going to happen in the medical field, but I am telling you that's what's going to happen on this free service. You're going to be playing a game on this free service, and you're going to be going through, and a cutscene is going to happen. And before that cutscene happens, or before you get back to playing your game, an ad's going to play. And before you get to whatever this boss fight, they're going to say, would you like to stop seeing ads? Upgrade to this level of service. Or before the credits can roll and you can get your new game plus, you're going to have to watch a series of ads. That's your future. And that's Microsoft and Xbox. They're going to do that because there's no one stopping them unless you vote with your dollars. And Lena Khan warned everyone about this, and everyone called her crazy. Because they were like, oh, cloud gaming, that's not right now. Watch it happen. Because they're already telling you we're going to do it. So what does this mean for the other companies? Nintendo already has a service. Do you use Nintendo's service, or you just buy the games?
Online service?
Mm-hmm.
I have everybody's online service, Leroy.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever asked you.
Yeah.
I put them
So
in here.
yeah, you weren't supposed to, buddy. You weren't supposed to see these pumpkins. You were supposed to see them when you got up in the morning. But once again, I've been outsmarted by a 3-year-old. So yeah, this deal with EA, this deal that Microsoft made with Xbox to buy Activision Blizzard is just the beginning. I believe both of these companies are watching Microsoft and Xbox and seeing what the backlash is and what they can get away with. I think Take Two is watching all of this and seeing, okay, how much are they going to sell this subscription service to? I think when
You
GTA
talking about for the
6
new
comes,
Grand Theft Auto Online or whatever?
I
Yeah.
think all of this, because here's the other thing. I think if more consoles were sold, I think Take Two would say, you know what, we don't have to go to $100. But if we start seeing a decline in hardware sales, and you can only play this game on two consoles, an Xbox and a PlayStation,
Hmm.
and Take Two is weighing the options of how many people have a next gen console, and they're saying, are we going to make as much money as we need to by selling this game at $80? Because this game is going to be base $80.
Yeah,
Or is
sure.
this game going to be $100? And that's all based on the decisions that Microsoft and Sony are making.
Cool.
I
We've
hate
been
it.
going long enough.
Yep, we've been an hour and 20 minutes. I hate that I'm right. I do. I told you this when I texted you. I hate it being right. But I've seen, we have talked about companies, and you're a nicer person than I am. But I read a lot of science fiction. I watch a lot of science fiction, and they have told us that corporations are not our friend.
Yeah.
Wayland Utani, that's who you're up against. The people who brought the xenomorph. They don't care about you, they only care about a product.
Spider.
So I gotta go put a toddler to bed. So let's wrap this up. What got you through the week, sir?
Uh, I love because I have a subscription to all the gaming systems. A lot of times, I play
You
on
you cut out. So go back, say it again. You said because you are.
because I have a subscription service to all
Mhm,
the platforms,
mhm,
Nintendo, Microsoft, Sony. A lot of times, I may not play a game when it first comes out, so I may get to it years down the line. I
mhm.
just started playing Returnal for the first time, maybe 2 weeks ago. Loving it.
Son, that
I'm
game
not
is
saying
amazing.
anything that people don't already know, but I am loving it a lot. I just got to the first quote unquote ending of the game, and I'm going through and doing more stuff to get the real ending. But yeah, loving that game a lot. Getting me excited for Soros whenever that comes out,
Mhm.
March, I guess, of next year. Um,
I need you to move a little this way. 'Cause you're
huh?
getting cut out. Your face is getting cut off the screen. Huh?
Oh, that's because I'm looking at something on TV.
Okay.
Um,
Move over here.
no, I'll be like this.
You know what you look like right now.
I don't
You look
know.
like Ice Cube in War of the Worlds on Amazon.
Oh, fantastic. Oh, no. I haven't seen that movie, man. I heard it's bad. I'm also, for anybody who has an LG TV, I encourage you to watch the Korean Food Channel. It's fantastic. It's a great way to pass time.
I need to buy a new TV, so I may consult you later.
Yeah, Wendy and I love watching the Korean Food Channel. It's
Mhm.
just, they're just cooking food 24/7. It's great. It's one of the
Okay.
free channels you get as part of the LG package online, whatever free channels.
All right.
But
Hey, hey, put
yeah,
that down. Daddy's already got to buy a new one. Now put that back up there. Up there. No,
what
don't put.
got you through the week?
Bring me the controller. Not the Mandalorian, the controller. The white thing.
Assassin's Creed Shadows and Ghost of Yote for Banks 757. I
Thank you.
want to get that
Good.
um,
Now go.
Ghost of
Press it.
Yote.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about buying it. I haven't pulled the trigger yet because I feel like there may be DLC down the line that they'll eventually bundle in, and I
Mhm.
could just wait to get the special edition at the $70 price. So I'm kind of waiting on that. Whenever that could be, a couple months down the line.
Oh, I'm trick a sibling into getting it for me for Christmas.
Hmm.
Mm. Well, not trick. It'll be on my Christmas list, and it'll be like, oh, this. Like, yeah, that's what you asked me what I want. Um, Banks. Was it Banks? Hold on. Somebody said it. Hold on. Why is the chat not working? This kid is killing me. I'm trying to fight. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Sir, you're a director. Do a better job.
No, I'm I done told you I was directing the show and started paying attention to it. Stop directing. No, I finished Mayans. Did I finish that this week? Put the pumpkin up there. Um, Up there. Yes. Yep. I finished Mayans. I might have said this last week. I can't remember, but I finished it. Marvel Zombies, and
Is that whole thing out, or is it like one at a time?
it's 4 episodes. It's already out.
Okay.
I mean, we could do a review if you got off your booty and watched it. We could
Too busy
talk
watching this
about it.
Korean food channel.
Old Leroy would have said, "F them Koreans," but new Leroy is like, you know what? What are they making? I'm interested. Anyway, so I finished that and I'm gonna rewatch it. But I've been watching Peacemaker
Hmm.
and
Right.
John Cena. Good lord, like that, like Peacemaker season. Peacemaker is right at the point that we talked about the boys, where they're hitting stuff too on the nose for what's going on right now. But what I will say is the heart that these guys are displaying when it comes to the acting. Judo Master, um, Judo Master really comes out like great in this last episode. Like, um, I just think that the show is really good, and the season finale is next week. Like I said, Alien Earth was really good. A lot. I haven't been playing as many games as I need to, just because I haven't had the time and I've been watching more television. Um, but what is this kid doing? Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry, my 3-year-old is out of control. Uh, Not a reflection of me as a father.
Sure.
That's just my genetics.
Yeah.
I'm trying over here, but I'm fighting my own genetics. Um, but no, still playing Dead Island 2. But yeah, I'm going to start because I pay for it. I'm going to start. And TAS is really good. I'm going to start an Apple show, and I just don't know which one yet. Like I'm
Slow
not gonna
horses.
finish.
Done.
Well, I'm behind. I'm only on season 3.
Well, catch
I
up
gotta
because
catch up.
season 5 just started.
Calm down, sir.
Just
Ain't
saying.
I honestly, just to spite you, I may watch the studio or Sugar. Just
Okay.
to
Those are both good shows.
mm, there. So yeah. Other than that, that's about it. Yeah, I can have a pumpkin. So I have a bunch of these pumpkins that I got out of storage because we do seasonal stuff. My wife loves to do seasonal stuff, and the boy has found all of the stuff that I got out of. There's more stuff like out of the attic that I got. I was going to set it all up, but since he hasn't gone to bed yet, and I'm not allowed to drug him, he's just up with me.
Oh yeah, For All Mankind is fantastic. That's always a good one.
Yeah, I see you got a pumpkin. So yeah, guys, we've been going for a little while. So the world is on fire. It's the end of the world as you know it. I feel fine, but find your joy, whether it's whatever your hobby is, whether it's toys, video games, anime, whether it's going outside touching grass, whether it's cosplay, whatever your nerddom is, find it, love it. Fuck these haters.
We have the same pumpkin.
We do. Did you hear what Daddy said? What did Daddy say? Yeah, close enough. Yep, good. Yep. So, Michael, close us out.
That's it, folks. You know where to find us. We may be back live next. Ooh, I got to go to an old lady's birthday party.
Oh,
next
I'm
week, so
definitely not
probably
going to be because I got to go to a wedding.
Oh, cool. So we won't be live next week. Maybe we'll tape something and we'll try
Yeah,
again.
we'll
the week
definitely
after.
take something. Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be fun too. Yeah, it'll be fun. I got a couple ideas.
Cool. Folks, until next time. See you later. Peace.
Peace. Owen says bye.